I'm a nosy bitch. What are your numbers? How much money did you have to take out? Are you paying yourself? The juicy questions that no one talks about.
So juicy.
We're going to give you that tea. We can yap.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Happy Air podcast with Beck and Dom, founders of Beck's Broth. We are officially podcast girlies. We got out of Dom's bedroom and now we are filming in our co-working space, which is Den 1880 in Waterloo. Gorgeous space equipped with all the cameras, the mics, everything we need to just get out of our house and actually feel like we're doing it.
Change out of my boxers.
Yeah, change of scenery. So super excited about that. So we're going to come at you today with some juicy, I guess, like behind the scenes of the risks, the rewards of business. But before we do that, why don't we get into a little bit of an icebreaker of like what we did this past weekend. Dom, what'd you get up to?
Yeah, this weekend, I had a jam-packed weekend.
You did.
It was the summer solstice this weekend, so I started the weekend off at not a barbecue, but just to get together at my friend's house.
Cute.
And it's so nice that friends have shifted from going to the bar and drinking at really late to just like getting together in a small group. It makes me so happy. I love just like hanging out, getting to know different people and talking. I didn't drink.
Not at all.
Not at all. I packed kombucha. I think I sent you a picture. Coconut water, Zevia.
Oh yeah, you're staying hydrated in this heat wave.
I had so many drinks. It was really exciting. And then Saturday morning, I woke up, went for a run, and took off to Detroit to my cousin's bachelorette party. And okay, so we did a cocktail making class, which was super cool.
That was in Detroit.
In Windsor.
Okay.
And then we had a driver to take us to Detroit.
Okay, fancy.
I know, so fancy. I did none of this planning. Her best friend had everything just like perfectly set up. We got in the bus and she had this bingo game, so we were going on these random side quests throughout the whole night.
I love that.
And like we all got super competitive with it. So it was like you'd have to go find someone named Alan or go find someone from New Jersey. So we were just being hilarious all night. Then we went to a karaoke bar and it wasn't normal karaoke.
Okay.
They had a live pianist.
No way.
We're all tone deaf. Like it runs in the family. No one can sing. But people were going up, like, literally performing. I was mesmerized.
Wow.
And then it would go bop back and forth between, like, literally being mesmerized and then my sister going up
Trashed.
and being So I would totally do that again. It was a completely different vibe.
That's
karaoke.
beautiful.
But yeah, it was great. So nice to be with my cousins. And now it's Monday. I don't know. June just feels like
No,
rinse
it's
and repeat
Tuesday.
on the weekends.
It's
yeah,
Tuesday.
it's Tuesday. See? Exactly.
I was like, this is my Monday because I took yesterday off, but it's Tuesday.
What did you do this weekend?
This weekend was me and my 5 best friends went to the trailer, so the lake. So that was really fun. That's always where we like to escape to. We've been doing it since I was like 15. But yeah, you actually...
Half your life.
Half my life going up there, being a little frog. This is the first time we actually brought up our trailer. My mom was so nice to buy me and my sisters a trailer. So we were able to bring that up and just like, it was nice having our own space because before we were always in my friend's space, like a trailer. It's not that crazy. So when like the 5 of us, 6 of us need to pile in there, it can get a little, especially in this like heat, it can get a little crazy. So we had our own space, which was nice. Was it the second night or the first night there when I like texted you at like 1 a.m.?
The second night.
Oh my goodness. So we're in like a heat wave right now. And then all of a sudden I get this, everyone's asleep and I like am up scared because I like heard thunder and it's like, hey, this is crazy. So I check my phone and there's like one of those like tornado warnings. And I was like, oh my goodness, like where we parked our trailer was like at the top of this hill. And I just imagine us rolling down the hill, but then crushing my friend who's in the tent at the bottom of the hill.
Stop.
So I'm like, the whole time I'm freaking out and everybody was asleep. The only person that would answer me was Dom. And I'm like, Dom, I'm in a tornado warning. I don't know what to do. Everyone's sleeping. Like it was crazy. So I had like 2 hours of actually like being scared, which I don't remember the last time I was like scared
like that.
I was shitting myself to the point where like Bart, my husband beside me, he was out cold and then finally like I noticed his eyes like open and I was like, oh great, you're up. Okay, so we're dealing with a tornado warning. Like if I'm up, you're up with me. So it was a great weekend. But yeah,
it was great.
I'm just sunburnt now and a little shaken. So
yeah, you got sun-kissed this week.
Oh yeah, 7 hours straight in the lake. It's like literally that's what I dream of. So I was just so happy to be able to do that this past weekend.
Was your body in the lake or were you on a floaty?
No, my body was. Mel and I had floaties with us, but we were in the lake the whole time. Like I got on my floaty, probably like spent like half the time in my floaty, but like just like in the lake. I'm surprised it wasn't like a shroom, like a what is it called?
Yeah, like a
Shriveled.
A shriveled.
But like Kate was bringing us food, like we were getting drinks delivered. So Mel and I were just in the water for 7 hours. I ended up swimming like across the lake, which is like over a kilometer. I just wrapped the string around my waist and like got my friends on the floaties, and I just swam them over to the other side of the lake to swim. But it was really nice.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah,
that's a big swim. Big lake.
It was scary. But I got my workout in.
I woke up on Monday and opened my ChatGPT to start working, and like the first thing I saw was trailer versus truck safety in a tornado.
I was like, what do I do?
I don't know.
So yeah, thanks for ChatGPT.
Not that it helped, but here we are, alive and well.
Alive and well.
So today we're going to be jumping into all the nitty gritty of the business, and we're going to really go deep into Beck's startup story. So I'm going to be asking you some of the more questions for the first half. And what's really exciting about this is I'm a nosy bitch, and I always want to know what other businesses are doing. What are your numbers? How much money did you have to take out? Are you paying yourself? All the juicy questions that no one talks about.
So juicy.
We're going to give you that tea. And you might see me checking my phone a little bit because we just hired Taylor.
Hi, Taylor.
Hi, Taylor. She's going to be editing our podcast. So she set us up with basically outline of things to talk about because we can yap, and we want to make this good use of your time. The topic for today is I bet my life insurance on my company. What do you mean you bet your life insurance on your company?
In the early stages, when I was pouring when I was working at my marketing company, I was pouring every dollar into Beck's Broth. Eventually, I ran out of my savings, and then when I quit my job, I wasn't getting a pay, like of my full-time job, I wasn't getting a paycheck anymore. So I had no money to invest into the business, and I really had to get scrappy because the bank wouldn't give me any loans. When you're a business and you haven't been in business for 2 years or you're not incorporated, it's really hard to get a business loan. So, and then I couldn't get a personal loan. So I literally just couldn't get any money to help grow my business. So yeah, I cashed out. I literally called my mom, remembering that my 2 sisters did this when they needed help along the way growing up, and they cashed out their life insurance that my mom had on us. So I called her one day and be like, Mom, like, do you still have that life insurance? Like, if we cash that out, how much is that? And I think it was like 12 grand through my life insurance. So I got that. And then since I had a full-time job at my marketing company for 8 years, I had the RSPs. So I cashed out my RSPs at the same time. And like, that was it. That was like what I considered free money. I was like, these are my business loans because I can't get business loans. So I got really down and dirty and scrappy with that. I wasn't nervous because I felt like I had no choice. Like I felt actually proud of that I had that option. A lot of people like don't have those types of options, right? I was really just excited to be able to use that money to pay for my dream, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I should probably get life insurance now.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk
Right
about
now,
it.
don't
Okay,
worry.
cool.
I remember you said to me early on before I joined that you knew that this was going to work out. You just needed to figure out the finances to get there. At what point did you know that this is going to work out and I'm going to risk pretty much your future? Because all the money that you have saved for a rainy day is gone into this business. At what point did you know this is worth this risk?
Like literally since day one, that like when I was meditating, I heard bone broth, hot chocolate. Like I'm not kidding you. When I came out of that meditation, I knew. And like I just knew it was going to work out. I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know how that was going to come later, but I knew like that initial idea and that dream, like I just knew it was going to work. I felt so sure of it. And I've told you that many times where it was like, there can be fear in like associated with thoughts like this, or like when you think big picture dreams and running a business, but I just felt so sure of myself and I just knew we were going to make it work, like no matter what happened. So yeah, I just felt really lucky of knowing that like I had that dream and I was going to be able to accomplish that. I feel like that was just a special like soulful moment when you just like know.
Yeah.
It's almost like what they say about like true love, like when you know, you know.
When you know, you
and like
know.
this is like that for me.
Yeah.
And also Bart.
Hi, Bert.
Hi, Bart.
It gives you that North Star of like, then if you're constantly just knowing that it's going to work out, you're actually going to do things to make it work. So it's like a positive feedback loop where if you know that it has to work out, then you're going to do everything you can. You're going to show your titties to make it work.
Yeah. And honestly, even having like Bart on my side though, if I didn't have Bart on my side, I don't know if I would have been able to do it. I would have like in my heart been like, yeah, like I'm going to do this. But no, Bart carried me for what? Like, I mean, he's still practically carrying me at this point. I'm able to get back a little bit more. But when we first started dating, he had a house and he kind of just took me under his wing and was like, girl, like do what you need to do. and like that's going to pay off in the future and like I'll hold us down now. So I feel like just being able to like have that support, and like, I mean, we've been living scrappy, don't get me wrong, for like 3 years, like through like the house of construction and everything, dog surgery and whatnot. So we've been living so scrappily, but we've just been able to make it work by like, holding on.
What was on the line then versus what is on the line now to get this business going?
You know what? Still an interesting like question to answer, because you know the other day when I called you and you didn't pick up, and then you texted me like an hour or so later being like, hey, I was busy, like what did you call about? And I was thinking to myself, God, do we have money right now? Like I think I had this idea and I was like, wait, I actually don't know if we have money in the bank, which like I should know, guys, but I mean it was just like I was just like how much, because we have like when we have money in the bank, I don't know how much you guys are already allocating that to future production runs or things like that, right? So it's like I don't know, like, do we have play money right now? I had a really great idea, which I'm spacing on the idea now. I was very high at the time, being like, this is great. This is great, Tommy. Let me call Dom. But yeah, I'm like, my house is still on the line. My house is on the line for, I think, like the majority of the financing loans that we have. And now we're just kind of, getting more lines. So I feel like my whole life is on the line pretty much. But it doesn't scare me. Like I feel really like grateful that my life is on the line. I'm literally doing what I came on earth to do in this given time, right? Like this is such a huge chapter of my life, and I just don't feel like fear associated with that, just because I get to work, build a business with my best friend, and have so much freaking fun. Like who cares about money? What's money? I mean, as long as we're giving our girls some paychecks at the end of the day, then so I feel like everything's on the line, but that doesn't scare me.
Do you have any strategies that you use to make you feel okay when you don't know if you have money?
I call you.
You call me.
No, I feel like when those fears come up, I make a good meal and I chill out. And it's just like I feel held, I feel secured, I feel like my nervous system is getting a little bit of a hug, my belly is fed, and then I feel like that's when I take a boatload of L-theanine, and then boom, I'm better. I'm balanced. So I feel like I just don't let those fears really sink in. I feel like growing up, and like I moved out of my house, like I moved away from home when I was 16. And even moving away when I was 16, you think that, hey, what are you going to do for money, right? And I worked 2 jobs. And of course, anybody can like look at that situation and be like, oh, like that's so scary. But I never really felt scared. It was kind of like, I'm just going to wing it. Like the money is it ebb and it flows. It's going to find me when I need it. But I think I learned early on how to be resilient when money was an uncertainty, if that makes sense. So I don't really fear that anymore.
Yeah, you've always said leap in the net will appear. And for you, that's been, there's no money and I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of not, they're not like mutually exclusive. You can be happy and not have everything that you could possibly ask for.
Totally, yeah.
And I could see maybe even your nutritionist aspect coming in, because you know what you need to feel happy and grounded, and it's not really like worldly things. It's like, of course, a good meal, but like meditation, yoga, spending time with your friends, I think all of that kind of brings you more joy than
totally. And like challenging yourself. Like I'm loving just free activities lately. Like I know we both love pickleball.
Yeah.
How cool is it that you can buy a $40 set of rackets or whatever and the balls, and like I can just like bike to my court, and that's 2 hours of satisfaction every day.
Yeah.
Where like I'm playing with my husband, or I'm playing with my stepdaughter or my neighbors, and like how cool is that? I'm not spending $300 a month on a gym membership. I literally get to exercise and have fun for free.
For free.
And like be outside. Like I mean, like that's just like green lights across the board. Like that's just winning. So I love that.
Is there like, I'm gonna put you on the spot, but can you think of a time where you hit rock bottom since you started this business and you didn't know what was like how you were gonna make it work?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things, starting a business, you always feed everybody else first. Like the founder eats last.
Yeah.
So, and that's quite common across most businesses, where it's like the founder or the CEO will be making less money than the employees, right? But I think that I wouldn't call it my rock bottom, but I guess like the overall rock bottom is when I still wasn't getting like a great paycheck, and I like called you one day and I was like, Dom, like what, like I need to get paid more. Like I just like, I'm drowning in my debt. And then I think it was the realization when Frida needed her surgery, where it was like, I have $5,000 on my personal credit card. I'm not paying any bills. I'm leaving that all to Bart, and now I have a $13,000 surgery that I need to do. So I was like, I just need to pay myself more. But that's been more of like a personal rock bottom and not a business rock bottom. Because then once we talked about salaries and stuff, and then I was like, oh, like I can pay myself that right now, like a modest like income, and feel safe and comfortable. And so I think that was also just, it really came down to me communicating to you, but I didn't, even though I felt like I needed that, I didn't want to be selfish. So I didn't want to be like, girl, like, what can I do to get paid? But like, because I'm also thinking of you and I'm thinking of everybody else and the health of the business. And right now, like, then my mentality was I'm investing every additional dollar back into the business so we can grow faster and stronger. But then I was also like, I can't keep worrying about personal finances or like affording my groceries. Like I need to be able to eat, because if I'm not eating, I'm not going to have the energy to sustain running a business. So I think that was probably like my rock bottom, is just like going to you and being like, figure this out, Dom. Like I need money.
Yeah. But that's where that communication comes in, because I remember, if I'm piecing the timeline together properly, you owed your baseball coach $200.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a great example.
You were like, Dom, you transferred it from the business. Like, I'm really sorry, but I just needed to pay him. And I was like, it's fine. Like, pay for your freaking jersey.
You know what? That's actually so true, because last year I was on 2 baseball leagues and I had anxiety about paying both coaches, and I was late on both payments. And then this year, the email that I got saying like, hey, like, you need to pay for your jersey or whatever, like your league. And I was like, okay, boom, like next day it's paid. But last year I was really like, that stressed me out for like months.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I need $400 total to pay for my yearly activities.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. So yeah, that's so true. Yeah, different mindset this year.
What do you think has shifted? Sure. Like, let's give everyone listening, like a little bit of a background. So now Beck and I make a fair salary. I think we're making what you were making at your marketing job, and we're taken care of. And I've kind of changed my tune of, okay, the first whatever, we needed to invest everything we could in the business, but now it's like, hey, we know we're not going to sell this baby in a year. So you're going to live into your childbearing years. I'm going to live into my 30s running this business. And if we're not taken care of, how are we going to take care of it?
It doesn't make sense. It ends up harming ourselves over time, you know? I think the biggest thing that's changed, or I guess like the biggest thing that I've noticed, is every other Friday waking up to money in my bank account and being like, whoa, like this is what work is like. I think from not getting a paycheck for like 2 or 3 years, I forgot what money felt like. So now I can actually have that mentality where I'm getting out of like fight or flight, and I'm like, oh no, I can send Bart money. I can really buy a good amount of groceries this week. I'm not stressing out when I get to the end of the toilet paper in the closet, you know? Like I feel like I lived in that nitty gritty, like only spending what I can phase for so long. And I think now that there's like, and I'm not saying that there's a lot of money in the bank, guys. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, but it's more than the negatives, right? I think I was living in like negative 5,000 for years. And now it's like, oh my gosh, I'm like trying to climb right back up and save and pay off other debts. But I think just like being okay. And like, I think the biggest thing that's helped me understand finances is having you on board to like talk about it with. You've made me feel so safe and secure about finances, and especially when you just say like debt is just like buying money. Like sometimes you just need to like buy money, and like that's okay. But I mean, also having those conversations truly helps me out with my own personal finances. So it's like, okay, like I don't need to be scared anymore. Like we're provided for, we're paying the mortgage, groceries on the table, boom. Yeah. Anything else at the end of the day is just a freaking bonus, right? Yeah.
That's something that I don't think. I still think is taboo, especially among women, is the conversation of money. And I think we've done a really good job on our team with educating each other, holding each other accountable. Even with the business finances, we're the first founders to pull up the P&L and share it with our team. Our team has access to the bank account. They see the numbers. They know what's happening. But then on top of that, we're talking to our team about personal finances and how to manage them and what strategies we're learning. And that's going to take us so far.
Oh, even your help with Macy, too. Yeah. Like, that's been, like, like, employers don't typically do that, where you really like go out of your way to like help us out. I feel like you have a lot of knowledge, even though your background isn't like finance, but I feel like you're very grounded when it comes to money, but then also strategy around money. And I feel like even just like when you talk about like your investments or whatnot, or like the better use of money, it's like, whoa, like so many people don't know that. Yeah. Like that's just like not common knowledge. You think you get paid, you can save a buck, put the rest away or whatever, but it's just like you have like a bigger vision truly of like what money is. It's not just an object where you can buy groceries and whatever. It's like, no, you can actually like make money off your money.
Yeah.
I'm not completely there yet, but it's interesting to know that like that's a thing.
It's cool to see people doing it. Because like for me, I didn't just like one day wake up and start. Like it took years of seeing other people do it to start myself. One thing that I learned is that it doesn't really matter how much you have as long as you can just put a little bit of it away. And I know there's people out there, I'm on LinkedIn, people don't agree with saving money as a founder. Every single penny should go back into the business. I think that's really personality specific.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm type A. I need a little bit of a cushion. That's just, I can't live my life the way that.
I'm thinking of the cash that you keep in your car, like
Yeah.
your emergency money. Like you think about those types of things.
Yeah.
That's your personality.
But like, I need it. Like, for my mental health, I need it. But you don't need to be making millions of dollars to save money. And that's something that
No.
I just hope that everyone on our team can learn one day, is that you put 10% away, you're not even going to feel that 10%.
Yeah.
And maybe one day Beck's Broth will do that too. But right now,
No. Yeah. All money with Beck's Broth is being spent.
Taking risks in business and payoff. So now we just hit $1 million in sales, little time capsule.
$1 million. Like, I wish we should have done a calculate. Like, how much bone broth is that really? Like, that's crazy. That's such a wild number to hit. And also, for those of you guys who like haven't seen that social post, this was one of the first post-its I put on my wall back in November of 2021, saying like Beck's Broth is going to be $1 million business. And whenever I'm at my desk, I look at that sticky note every single day, just being like, okay, like we're going to get there. So to finally be able to hit that milestone 3 years later, and then just continuously growing, that's wild. That's like literally where you write your dreams down and you're manifesting them into you. Like, I just feel like that was such a powerful thing I did, to pick up my pen and the sticky notes 3 years ago, write down a goal, hit your goal. Like, it's such a cool feeling when you're actually able to accomplish something that you once dreamed of. And I feel like that's what it's all about. So if you're the type of person, whoever is listening, who is not writing down your goals, fucking start.
Yeah.
Because once you achieve those, that's a reason to celebrate.
Yeah.
And I feel like you and I are the same, where it's like we look for reasons to celebrate, because if we aren't doing that, then what the fuck are we even doing, right? We need to celebrate our success, even if it's waking up and eating food one day, you know?
We'll text each other.
Like,
yo, I ate eggs and toast.
like, yo, I ate a salad today, pat my fucking back.
Yeah.
But no, like, even just like big dreams like that, it's just like, no, like, how would we, like, we're celebrating that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, what were you?
No,
were
you're good.
doing some calculations there.
So roughly 150,000 servings of bone broth,
Crazy.
which, that's crazy. That means like if somebody was drinking it every single day, we would have like over 400 people drinking it every single day.
I love that. That like melts my heart.
Yeah.
Sweeties. Can you also believe sometimes I think our minds are like a little skewered, where like this is our business and we're selling it every day. But then think about like the consumer's point of view. They're like drinking our product every day. That's so crazy. And that's so cool. And guys, we are so beyond grateful. Like, that is
Truly.
That's
if you're
so
drinking Beck's
wild.
Broth. Yeah. And back to celebrating. It's like one of those things where $1 million, I almost caught myself being like, oh, we're posting about this. You know how many people are ahead of $1 million? They're not even going to care about $1 million. And then I was like, no. And if they look at us as babies, they're going to be so proud when we hit 5 and then 10. And I get this question all the time. How, like, are you guys actually this happy? Because on social media, we're happy all the time. And ever since joining Beck's Broth, it truly has been just high after high, because we are celebrating what we're accomplishing.
Yeah.
And that just gives everyone something to celebrate.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's truly just, it's having so much fun and just being like truly proud. And like, that was the thing when we made the post kind of saying that we hit $1 million, I also had another feeling where it was like, are we throwing this in people's faces right now? Because like, you know, those businesses where it's like, I'm going to teach you how to be a 6-figure business. And it's kind of like, okay, great. Like, there's like a magic potion out there that'll help you get there. But no, we fucking worked our asses off for over 3 years to hit $1 million. And like, you better believe I'm going to tell anybody who is listening that. Like, my blood, sweat, tears, like sacrificing like everything to be able to hit that number. So to finally hit that number, like, that is a milestone, and there's no way I'm just gonna walk on by that milestone without like yelling it out loud. So I feel so proud of us for that.
If you had one secret sauce, what do you think is in the secret sauce of Beck's Broth that has gotten us there?
Building it out loud, which I know we've kind of touched on in like previous conversations and podcasts or whatnot, but it truly, like, when we need momentum and we actually like build out loud and we're kind of conveying any other message to our community, like even like, hey, like, I need a pat on the back today, or hey, celebrate this with me. The momentum from our community fucking just propels us so much further. And not only does that mean a return in sales, like that, like when we celebrate something, we just get a flush of sales and that's what's doing it. It's no, they're having our backs and they're holding us in this space, and that allows us to feel comfortable, loved, valued, but then also inspired to keep going because we want to make everybody proud. So it's like, it's just building this business out loud is just the fuel that we get back from the community it's given us what we need to go forward, I guess. So I think that's just been like the most valuable thing, because without sharing everything out loud, there's no way that we would have been able to hit $1 million. It just wouldn't have been possible because people aren't buying just the product. They're buying into what we're doing and what we're building. And yeah, I just think that's like the most special thing ever. And it's free to build out loud. Again, coming back down to like being a scrappy business, building out loud is something that we can do for free, right? And of course, before it was just you and I, and now we have an incredible team who is helping us with our messaging, like Olivia, Macy, Taylor, like everybody is just, their goal is to help craft our story a little bit and make it a little bit more presentable for the audience, because we're just so nitty gritty where it's like, boop, camera on. Now they're putting a bit of more strategy into it. But I just think it's so cool and fun. Also, you're being a great like host right now. I feel like you're the one with the questions, and I feel like I should think of one, and now I'm just dazed and confused. Here's one for you, actually. Okay. So startup costs and figuring out roles and whatnot. So I know we've kind of talked about how you and I have split up our roles of the business. So I'm the CEO, and you're now the president, which we haven't really announced yet. So shh, guys. But yeah, so in the beginning, how did that feel to you? And we were kind of like separating out our roles. Like,
it felt so intuitive to separate our roles. I knew you. And I knew me, and I knew you were really good at sales. You? I knew me. I did the baby. I did the baby. And I remember just looking up to you when I was running Happy Hour, and I just thought, you were so good at doing sales and being in person. And that just made it so obvious to me when we came together that I was going to do anything like financy, maybe more paperworky, maybe more organizational at the beginning.
Because you know, if I do paperwork, it'll take a month to get done. I procrastinate.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry.
So that felt super natural. And I have a lot of experience delegating just from like being in engineering, and even just back in high school, I was the prime minister. I always had like my little team. So I think I had that vision of, I know who we need to bring in and maybe how, and also how to access the funding to do it before we can afford it.
Yes.
And that's been a little superpower for us, because now we have this huge team, and a lot of people know we don't really pay for a lot of them because we get a lot of grants.
Hey.
So it's just been a lot of tapping into what's going to move the needle the most. Yeah. And for us, I think it's what's going to make us look big and juicy and bold.
Yeah.
And that's our goal. So on Instagram, we hired Macy because she's going to make us look larger than life. And we got a grant to pay for her for 6 months. And we said, okay, if she can't pay for herself after 6 months, then our strategy is off. Yeah. Because a good employee shouldn't cost you any money.
Yeah. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just been how it's gone. And we communicate so much our needs, and we've just kind of like ping-ponged back and forth. It was like, hey, I need help. So then we hired Kayla, and she's been my incredible little secret weapon.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely incredible.
She's my secret weapon too.
Yeah, now she's helping both of us and moving into more of a full-time role.
Yeah.
And then it was Olivia, because Macy got busy. So communicating each other's needs.
Can I actually just tell you like something that I feel about Olivia? So Olivia is our social media specialist, everybody. So you'll see like her reels and her cute little voiceovers, and she's the brains behind all of that. When I see her content being posted on social media every day, I feel like it's a fucking Kinder Egg surprise. Oh, I'm like, oh my God, like I've never seen this before. So I'm also kind of just with our community where I'm seeing it for the first time the same time that they see it. And I could see them beforehand. Sometimes marketing meetings, I miss them, okay? But so when I see them, I'm like, goodness, she's a gift from God. So good. And she's so sweet and so good at what she does. And I feel like her job gives me so much dopamine.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I love it.
It keeps the momentum going on our team.
Wow, you did that.
Yeah. I remember she made this, like, matcha coconut thing, and I, like, saw it on my feed, and I picked it up to send it to Broth Babes on Instagram. And then I was like, oh, that's our content. Yeah. Like, I'm sharing our content. It's so good.
She's incredible. Yeah. And I feel like right now there's a couple of people that we are going to hire in the future. Like, I think we're at a point where like I'm like drowning with events and whatnot. I feel like I'm taking on more than I could chew. So like even like this summer, for example, I took on so many events. I think we have like 40 trade shows / fun events throughout the year. And then now I'm kind of double booking myself and then fucking us over because I'm like, oh, great, there's 2 events on this weekend, or now I have to hire a staffing agency for this. But, oh, now we're going to New York, or now we're going to Alberta. So now I can't work that. And now it's too last minute for me to hire the staffing agency. And it's just like, oh, my goodness. Like, we just need somebody who is going to own it and make it happen because I'm just going gray trying to figure that out in addition to everything else. It was fun when I had that capacity to do it. Now it's just a little busy.
Yeah.
Which is great because all opportunities, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like I don't want to be mad at these opportunities coming to us, but I just don't have like that time to figure them out anymore. But there's so many incredible opportunities coming our way.
You're working 2 full-time jobs right now. You're working in events and then you're working sales, and we all know that sales becomes a very much full-time job at the back end. So we're just navigating kind of what we can take off your plate, because I think you're the best at being in person.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I love being in person. But also there's like being in person at events or being in person in the retail landscape of things, working really closely with our brokers, doing the industry events, selling to the people who are going to sell our product. I think that's where I'm really like where I need to be. I'm great at any fucking trade show and I can sell our product like nobody's business. But I think from a strategy standpoint, I need to dial it back a little bit and think about like, okay, like big girl boss moves. And then I also just love bringing like my fun personality to those like big girl events, because I'm like, God, these are boring. Let's spice them up a little bit.
Have a little fun.
And it's so much fun. So I love like surprising people in that capacity, being like, wow, like you're really energetic. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm sick of having the boring conversations, so somebody needs to liven it up.
Yeah,
so.
Why are we showing up here if we're not going to have fun? I'm not going to come.
Like, you guys clearly don't know how we do business, so I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
But no, so I think, that's been interesting.
Even me having Kayla and now Cameron on our team too, my goal is to not have to open my laptop and do something that day. I don't want to.
God, that's a good goal. That's your goal right now.
Like, I don't want it to have to be like by 10 a.m. if I haven't checked my email, like the bills aren't getting paid.
Right.
I want someone else to take care of that, because then if I get pulled here, if I get pulled there, I shouldn't feel guilty for going out and networking or selling or whatever it is that day that's going to help develop the business.
Yeah.
So just automating as much as I can. I am not good at being accountable to do things by a certain time.
Me neither.
Just got to admit that.
Which is literally why Taylor is like having to script our podcast and tell us Taylor, if you tell us what to talk about, we will do it. But right now I think we're at a point where we almost need to be told what to do sometimes.
Put me on camera and tell me what you want me to talk about.
But if it's my choice to show up here, it's like, no, I have a million other things to do, but now they're taking care of those. Yeah. And then Taylor's taking care of us here. We just need a break sometimes.
All we need to do is show up.
It's so good to be told what to do.
That's my dream in life.
I love it.
Tell me what to do.
I'm sick of making decisions. But I think we're actually exiting out of our decision fatigue era.
Yeah.
I think I was so... You could talk to me about something, and I'm like, I cannot talk to you because I'm like max capacity for what I need to decide and think about right now. And I remember like Bart would come home and like try and talk to me, and I'm like, Bart, time out, I can't talk. Like, or he's like, what's for dinner? And I was like, that question is gonna make my head explode.
You actually hated the dinner topic.
I hate the dinner topic. It's like I've made so many decisions all day. I'd rather just not eat and take an L tonight. Because I'm sick of making decisions. But now I feel like we're balancing back, and my decision fatigue isn't as crazy as it used to be, so I could make a little bit of decisions.
Oh, same. I used to get home and be like, I am expired. Like, I'm done. I'm spent. I just want to shut my trap and be done for the night.
Like, I'm tapped out.
But now I'm just energized by everything. Like, sign me up for anything.
Yeah. All right, so these are the fun behind the scene things that we love to talk about. We love talking about the risk, the fun we're having along the way, and the behind the scenes. I feel like not only do we just get to sit down and gab and have fun about it, but it also helps our community realize that they don't need to be so scared if they have dreams that they want to fulfill. So I just want to be like, I want this to be like an open floor that if anybody listening does have these types of questions, we should like encourage people to write in and honestly like give us some topics to talk about. If you want us to narrow in on a certain area, then let's go there, right? I feel like we want to know what the people want to hear, and we want to show up, but actually providing the value that is beneficial to everybody. So, because we could talk about this all day, but sometimes we just ramble, and then we lose the point, guys. So yeah, it would just be great to hear where people are at and what they want to hear about. And I mean, we can get into some pretty juicy topics and give the tea.
Well, speaking of juicy topics, I'm excited for the next episode.
Okay, segue. What are we going to be talking about on the next epi?
We're going to be talking about something where we were on camera for something that we told you all about and then never talked about for a few months or a couple of years. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. You have to wait.
Yeah, so you got to tune into the next episode, but the tea will be there.
Yeah, lots of tea, lots of matcha, lots of coffee, lots of hot chocolate.
All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We hope that you're getting as much value out of it as we are trying to put in. I hope you guys like our new fun space. It is so sweet in here. Again, we're filming at Den 1880 here in Waterloo. They have a podcast studio, which we're actually in an old bank vault, which is really cool. Did you know that?
No, I was wondering why it was called the vault.
Yeah, it's in an old bank room. So the door actually on the outside, when you open it, it's like the original vault door, which is like super cool. But yeah, anyways, until next time, besties.
Bye.